In 2065, one mistake would destroy the global economy and trap humanity on Earth for a century. This timeline tells the story of the Kessler prison. It starts in 2026. The era of the reusable rocket changed everything. Launch costs dropped from $10,000 to pennies. Suddenly, space wasn't just for governments, it was for everyone. We didn't just send satellites, we sent swarms. Low Earth orbit was a bustling highway of fiber optic factories and massive hotels. It was the greatest economic boom in history. We looked up at the sky and saw infinite profit. The idea of slowing down was unthinkable, but we forgot to look at the odometer. By the late 50s, low Earth orbit is no longer the empty void we imagine. It is a solid shell of aluminum and titanium. The altitude of 550 kilometers, once the home of a few thousand Starlink satellites, is now a chaotic ring of traffic. There are 100,000 active satellites and millions of pieces of dead junk. It was simply impossible to keep track of every single object up there, but every single object was a potential bomb just waiting to explode. Growing increasingly concerned, scientists sound the alarm bells that orbital traffic control is failing. They warn that at these speeds, 17,000 miles per hour, paint chips hit like bullets and bolts hit like grenades. They demand a slowdown. They were ignored. The Earth's economy is now 100% addicted to the heavens. The internet, the power grid, and the banking system all live in that shell. Turning off the space economy to fix safety protocols would trigger a global depression. So the governments do what they always do. They roll the dice. They keep launching. It was a problem for tomorrow, not today. On an ordinary Thursday in 2065, our fears were realized. A defunct communications satellite from the 2030s drifts slightly off course. Traffic control misses the ping. It strikes a massive orbital manufacturing facility. Because there is no air in space, there is no fireball, there is no sound, there is only physics. The impact shreds the facility instantly. In the space of 1 second, it is transformed into 10 million bullets traveling at 17,000 miles per hour. And here is the physics trap. That debris doesn't fall back to Earth. It keeps moving. Every single screw, panel, and shard of glass is now a projectile orbiting the planet at hypersonic speed. We have no way to track where these projectiles are going or what they will destroy. And the response from Earth? It didn't even make the front page of the news. Space is dangerous. People die all the time. And what relevance is 17 deaths in a factory accident in orbit when the US and China are mobilizing navies in the Pacific? The news cycle didn't care about debris. It cared about the threat of World War III. Over the next 2 years, the debris field from the impact spreads out, forming a chaotic shell around the equator. Scientists demand an immediate grounding of all space flights to let the radar systems track the new shrapnel. But the corporations and governments refuse. To heed their warnings would be akin to destroying the economy and committing political suicide. Where would we get our energy? What about massive job losses? The machine had to keep running. The probability of impact rises from 0.01% to 5% per day. Then the escalation begins. A solar farm is shredded. Then a government spy satellite goes dark. The debris field gets denser. The safe lanes for launching rockets begin to close, one by one. The cage is being built, bar by bar. Slowly, the people in power begin to understand the severity of the situation, but not enough. On Wednesday, March 21st, 2068, the dam broke. The debris cloud intersects with the industrial cluster, the busiest zone in orbit. The chain reaction is instantaneous. One factory explodes into debris, which sprays outward and hits the station next to it, which shatters and hits the fuel depot behind it. This is the Kessler Syndrome.
It is a domino effect of destruction, circling the globe at Mach 22. Within 48 hours, the space economy evaporates. GPS satellites are destroyed. Global navigation fails. The internet backbone snaps. Stock markets crash as high-frequency trading goes dark. All our systems for communications, our energy delivery, our manufacturing, our weather tracking, gone. On the ground, we look up and see shooting stars, thousands of them burning up in the atmosphere. It looks beautiful, but it is actually the burning wreckage of the modern world. The fallout, 2069. It has been 12 months since the Cascade began, and Earth is a different planet. The first thing we lost wasn't the ships, it was the eyes. With the weather satellites shredded, we are flying blind. We don't know a hurricane is coming until it hits the coast. With GPS satellites gone, global shipping has reverted to the 19th century. Automated cargo ships are drifting in the ocean, lost and silent. The death toll is impossible to calculate, but it is in the millions. Not from falling debris, but from the collapse of the just-in-time supply chain. Famine has returned to regions that haven't seen it in 50 years. But the cruelest blow is the energy crisis. For decades, we relied on clean fusion energy, powered by helium-3 mined on the moon. That supply line has been severed. The fusion reactors are burning through their final reserves. To keep the lights on, governments have made a desperate, heartbreaking choice. They are firing up the old decommissioned coal and gas plants. In just 1 year, we have undone a generation of climate progress. The sky is gray with smog again, a grim reflection of the metal debris field above. We are trapped in a gravity well, suffocating in our own exhaust, with a ceiling made of bullets moving at 17,000 miles per hour. Nothing gets out. Attempting to launch a rocket now isn't exploration, it's putting a tin can in a blender. On the moon, the tragedy is quieter, but far more brutal. The Lunar Colony is home to 10,000 souls. It was designed to be self-sufficient for a few years, but not forever. They have water recyclers and algae farms, but they lack the heavy manufacturing to repair complex failures. They know the clock is ticking. They are safe from the debris, but they are prisoners of the void, condemned to watch the Earth, their home, slowly turning brown and gray as the pollution returns. But they are also the only ones with the power to repair the damage. Instead of rationing their power to extend their own lives, the colonists make a unanimous, terrifying decision. Knowing their deaths are certain anyway, 8,000 non-essential personnel make the decision to step into the vacuum to extend the time the others have left. The ones who remain redirect every kilowatt of energy and every gram of silicon they have toward one final project. They convert the lunar mining drones into autonomous sweepers, heavy shielded bots designed to fly into Earth's orbit, grab the debris, and deorbit it. Life inside the colony becomes hell. They turn down the heat to near freezing to save power for the factories. They ration oxygen until they're lightheaded. They are starving themselves to build the keys that will unlock Earth's cage. They know they won't live long enough to see the sky clear. They aren't working for their own survival anymore. They are working so that decades from now, human beings might be able to leave Earth again. The reality sets in. We cannot launch rockets for decades. We have to wait for the drag of the atmosphere to pull the debris down, or invent laser brooms to sweep the sky, or wait for the work of the lunar colony to save us. We conquered gravity, but we couldn't conquer our own greed. We built a prison out of our own success, and now we have to wait for the sky to clear.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can bring you more videos like this one.